Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fortis After Hours podcast. I'm your co-host, Nate, joined by my wife, Liz.
Hey.
And we have another awesome episode planned for you guys. We are back from summer break. A lot has happened since...
It was a busy.
Yeah, since the last podcast.
A busy month and a half, 2 months, I don't know.
I think it's busy. It's been about like 6-8 weeks, something like that. But yeah, we've had a lot of things going on. Maybe if we have time at the end, we might go over some of that. But honestly, I feel like a lot of you guys follow us on social media, so you probably have a pretty good idea already. But today, for today's podcast, we have some Q&A, some questions from you guys, our listeners, which we really appreciate you guys reaching out and giving us those. And then before that, I wanted to talk about just having fun when training. So whether you're training powerlifting or you're just working out for general fitness or you have another fitness goal, having fun when training in the gym is super, super, super important.
It is.
Yes, it is. And it can be tricky. I think, honestly, weirdly, I think it's like trickier the further you get into your fitness journey to continue to have fun. Because sometimes, like, when you first start, you're just like, you're hitting PRs all the time, whatever you're doing, you're just crushing it. Or maybe you don't know what you're doing, so you're just kind of like floating around, And I feel like, after you've been doing it for a while, then you're like, sometimes it can get a little monotonous. It can get a little boring. Because the reality of like any training, whether you're doing powerlifting, like I said, or training for something else or life is like, you do have to do it over and over and over in order to get stronger, to get better. And I mean, you probably will get bored at some point.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of a mindset thing, though. Like, I don't know. I don't ever feel like I'm, like, bored with training. But maybe I'm just weird.
Are you always having fun when you're training?
No.
Yeah.
I try to. Like, I've gotten better at it, I would say. At, like, having more fun with training than I used to. Like, I definitely used to take it too seriously. And so now I would say I'm having more fun with it. But I wouldn't say like every day I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
But I'm also not bored either. Like some days I'm just annoyed and frustrated or going through the motions or whatever. So.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I feel like that's an interesting difference between us because like I get bored.
I don't.
Frequently.
Yes.
So I get bored. And then I have to be reminded, usually by Liz, like, yo, like you're able to do this really cool thing, just keep going, and then you'll do more really cool thing, which she's right. Like if you want to achieve something great, then you have to keep going, going through that. But I really do think having fun while training is a super important way to help you continue on in that process. And for us, I mean, it is kind of built into our training, let's be honest. Like we get to train together. We have some awesome training partners, and that makes it a really fun time to train. You're not
I mean, like I'm not like I'm saying I'm like not having fun. I mean, some days are not fun. Let's just be
I mean,
really honest. That's for everybody.
I think
anybody who ever
myself,
works out or trains, like even if you enjoy, but I guess like the difference is like even if I'm not necessarily having fun doing it, I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Like deep down on some weird level, even like the bad days, I still enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So.
And I think...
And we have a fun environment, which I think is part of...
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
other people.
Trying to find a fun environment or trying to create one for yourself. If you do train at home alone, make it a fun space for yourself. If you like watching YouTube videos, like pop one on in the background. If you like listening to music, put on your favorite playlist.
I'm going to give Jean a little shout out on here.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in her videos that she sends me, I see her TV and it has my face on it, AKA this podcast on it.
Hey, nice.
And I see it in the background. I'm like, hey, that's us.
Yeah, turn on the Fortis,
and so
Fortis After Hours podcast.
Listening to the podcast while she's training.
Which is cool, and I think that's awesome. And that's kind of what I wanted to get at. It's like, making sure that you're having fun while training, which you may have to put some effort into. I think it's like sometimes people...
Especially if you're someone who gets bored easily.
Right. Exactly. And like sometimes people like, they just wait for it to like, well, this should be fun. It's like, what you're doing is pretty repetitive. If you're powerlifting, like I said, if you have other general fitness goals, anything that you're trying to achieve that's, fitness related, health and fitness related, more than likely takes time. And more than likely it might take longer than you think.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of it with like the getting bored thing is people, they only like to celebrate the like huge PRs. Like, oh, I've never squatted 400 pounds before.
The all-time PRs?
Yeah. Okay. The all-time PRs. Like things that they've never done with like the main movements. But I feel like what's often overlooked by people is like, which sounds silly, but like celebrating like the little PRs.
Yeah.
Because they're still PRs. So whether it's your accessories or rep PRs or, hey, I moved this weight like really terribly 2 months ago and now it moves pretty good.
Yeah.
Like looking at those things and like understanding that all of that is progress too, I think helps, helps me be like, wow, all this work that I'm doing is working. Like there is like seeing the progress instead of only focusing on like just meet day or just like single lift PRs.
Yeah, 100%.
That makes it fun for me because I'm weird and like all those little things though. So.
Yeah, no, but I think more people, especially in the powerlifting space, need to take a look at how they're moving weights. That's something that me and you have always been, paramount. That's been a priority rather for us as coaches and for our athletes is like how you're moving the weight. Not just moving the weight, but actually like are we moving it well? Last month we got almost stapled on this deadlift. This month it's moving a little quicker, a little bit more upright, maybe if I'm pulling sumo, whatever. And we've always been about that. And it's funny because we got initially, like I remember we got a lot of like flack from like some other powerlifters of like, oh, well, it doesn't matter, like the weight is the weight. It's like, sort of.
For
but
the
like,
longevity of a powerlifting or just like a lifting, I don't even want to call it a career,
just for lifting,
if you just want to lift
if you want to lift
time,
longer and you want to be stronger, which takes time, you have to move well. And there's no better time to do that than like yesterday. So you may as well start today. You know
so
what I mean?
While I am obviously a big proponent of moving well, I do want to say something that will take all of the fun out of powerlifting is if you are overly focused on how you move and like overly critiquing everything that you do and being so caught up in like the negatives of what you see or what is happening that you can't be happy with the progress you're making.
Yeah,
because
that can be detrimental.
Yes, so like I am 100% huge person on form, always have been, always will be, but like there does come a time where like you have to be, I don't want to say okay like messing up because it's not messing up, but just like little things you can't over-analyze them. Because that will 100% take the fun out of training, out of your progress, and it's going to just make it way harder. Yeah,
and a quick note on that. If you guys have a coach or if we're your coach, like let us work on that. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're getting paid, part of what we're getting paid to do. And like, we'll let you know, like if there's something, if there's something we need to change or whatever, like we'll let you know. If you have another coach, they'll let you know, they should be letting you know. But if not, like sometimes, me personally, I like to handle one thing at a time with my athletes. So I don't like to just be like, all right, you need to fix this, because like Liz said, it can be extremely overwhelming. And then all of a sudden you're just like, well, I just suck. Like nothing was good today. And that's often not the case. It's often, maybe we need to make a little tweak here. And maybe I'll only be looking for that little tweak. Therefore, if maybe the rest of the squat looks okay, but we successfully did, held our brace throughout the squat. Okay, cool. That's what I'm looking for today.
Yeah.
And I think like sometimes people get a little, like you said, they can get a little paralyzed. It's like, yeah, but my knees caved. It's like, that's fine. Because right now, I'm not,
one thing at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, did it hurt your knees? No, it didn't. Right now we're focusing on the brace. So that's good. That's
and then
success.
Also like along with that though, like, you're getting, maybe if you're getting to PRs or rep PRs or whatever, and like your form does start to break down a little bit, that doesn't mean that those sets or PRs are any worse than they would be on your back downs that are perfect. Yeah. So like, which we've talked, I think about on here before too, is like those back downs ones are the ones where you can work on like making them perfect and just enjoy the fun of the process of like being strong when you're strong.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Because you don't want to ruin your fun.
No, and that's the thing is that you guys, a lot of people get into the gym for some sort of like positive reason, right? They want to make themselves stronger. They want to make themselves faster, better in some like shape or form. Like they're trying to improve.
You don't come to the gym to make yourself worse.
Exactly. You're not showing up to the gym like, all right, yep, like, like time to be worse. Like, no, that's literally not the gym. So therefore, like why not have some fun while doing it? And that can be done by yourself, with friends. It really doesn't matter. It's really up here. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to touch on that. Just remind people to make sure you're having fun. And like I said, on those days, sometimes it might be more of a conscious effort than others. Some days you might just be having fun. Other days you might be like, okay, self, I do not want to be here, but like we're gonna try and make the best of it for today. And that's fine too.
And then also, if you have a bad day, you have a bad day. That doesn't mean 100%. Like you can't ever go back to the gym and not ever have fun again. Like
or like on that bad day, like, oh, this is great. Like obviously, no, that's not fun.
Sometimes days just suck, and that's fine. But then there's another day to come back again tomorrow, and then it could. But like then you come back at that next day with like a different attitude, maybe. Like you don't want to come back the next day like, well, yesterday sucked, so today's gonna suck too. Like trying to reframe a little bit if you had a bad day. Trust me, I've had a lot of them. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it happens, and that's just
I will
part
say,
of being in the gym long enough. You know, if you've been in the gym long enough, you've done something repetitively long enough, you're gonna have bad days. That's fine.
And when I started like actually just kind of like having fun and enjoying training more, and like not focusing so much on the numbers, and I mean, I'm of course focused on my form, but not like overly dissecting it, I had way more fun, and then I actually started making more progress again.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Weird.
It matters like for you to be like consciously having fun. You're gonna, you know, when you're having fun, you're gonna be moving well. You're gonna make more progress. It's gonna be more efficient.
Yes.
Training in general, and part of like having fun for me was also like just being present in my training. You know, like I realized. So we're on this video journey. If you guys don't know, I'm posting one video every single day from Fortis socials, and I'm really enjoying it, I have to say. So I'm over 200 videos in. I'm enjoying it. I've gotten better at it, obviously, 200 times.
That's how that works.
Yep, that's how that works. But it's funny. So, you know, one thing that I was considering making content on, but I actually ended up not, and I don't really think I ever will, unless I'm in a specific opportunity, which I'll explain later. But, you know, something that I was kind of counting on to make content on was like our training, right? You know, like me and Liz and, you know, our team of people that we train with. I feel like it would be cool for people to see just our interactions and like how we work together. But, you know, a couple times, I think I tried to film it, or I was going to, and, you know, I ended up not doing it because what I realized was this: when we train, like, we're really present and like locked in, you know, like we both are running the gym, like this is, you know, our livelihood, so we're very busy. And I mean, I got my phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't know what Liz does. She might just ignore it. She's better at that than me. I do not have I'm a like, if something happens, I need to do it now person. So I put my phone completely on Do Not Disturb.
During like the last couple months, like the last month or two of prep, I will, but otherwise I can just kind of
I figured you're
box things.
Better at that than me.
Yeah.
But anyways, so point is, I know my weakness. I turn that off, and like I'm just fully present in the moment training. And you know what I thought of when I thought about, you know, filming and, you know, doing kind of more of like a mic'd up style training thing is like, could I do it? Yes. Do I think it would like impact the training that much? Probably not. But the thing is, it's gonna be in the back of my mind because I gotta film it, I gotta produce it, I gotta do all these things. And like, for me, I just like to train, you know, like that's part of why I think, me personally, why I think I've been able to continue training as the gym's gotten busier, as our lives have gotten busier, is because I do just like, it's just my time. I go in and I train with Liz and Joel and whoever else is there for the day. We train together, and I'm fully present in training. I'm not thinking about anything else usually, or I try to keep everything out of my brain, and I just train. And I just think, unfortunately, if I were to film it, and you know, I wouldn't be fully present. And I think that, like, I'm not saying like filming just with your phone, but like with an actual camera, mic'd up, everything, it's just a little bit different of a feel, and you got to be thinking about, you know, producing it and all these things, and the time that it takes to produce it. So not necessarily, I mean, like actually, like the content would just be us training. However, when the person that has to do all the work to like post that, me, is like, now I'm thinking about, okay, I gotta edit this, I gotta do this. And it was just too much for me. So I just ended up not doing it. And you know, if we're ever at I still wouldn't mind sharing that aspect, but it would need to be something where like someone else is like fully producing it, like everything. Then I think we could do it. But like, it's just, I don't want to have to worry about that, and I know Liz doesn't want to have to worry about that. So I ended up not doing that. And the point of all that is, part of having fun is being present for me. For you or other people, it might not be, but for me, I like training. Like, I love working out. I like training in the gym, and that's like one of my, like, I mean, that is like my number one passion, like hobby in life. And if I were to ruin that, I don't know what would happen. It would not be good.
Probably wouldn't be great.
So, yeah. So protect that training time, have fun, surround yourself with some awesome people, or if you need to, surround yourself with some awesome people on YouTube. Check out our podcast, Fortis After Hours podcast. Oh, you guys are already here. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so we have some awesome questions from you guys that we got this week, and we're going to answer those. So maybe while you're having fun training, you can listen to these question and answers. And next time we do a Q&A, make sure you guys get your questions in. We'll do this in the future. I don't know, like, maybe we'll start doing it more frequently. Got some good questions this time. It's good. Yeah. All right. So the first question is, how many clients do each of you have, and do you have a max capacity? So both of us have somewhere in the realm of like 35-ish, 40 clients-ish. But
I think, I guess, like, also, because people might not know exactly, like, that's like we do programming for people. Mm-hmm. Some of those are in person at our gym. Mm-hmm. Some of them are online somewhere else, not at our gym, somewhere around the United States.
Universe.
Somewhere out there. But then also on top of that, we do have personal training clients that that don't have. So that's also like a separate aspect of how many clients we have.
This is just for people that we're writing programs for. Good clarification.
Yeah.
We also have like personal training clients in person. We also have group personal training clients, but that would be for the people that we're writing programs for, which is some in person and some out of state. So somewhere around the realm of like 30 to 40 each is what I would say. Just kind of depends.
And it fluctuates too.
And it fluctates exactly. Like some
month,
people, some people need to take a break or they come back or whatever. So somewhere around there is, I would say, where we both float. And I think we can maybe touch on like how we balance that just briefly after this. But to answer the second half of that question, like, do we have a max capacity? No, because the thing is that we are just two people, but we're part of our bigger like business community family, and that is our Fortis family. And as we've continued to grow, so this past year we had like a lot of growth. We will just continue to expand and hire another amazing coach, like we did recently with Kadrin. I don't really think there's like a max per se, because we operate like as a unit together. I think if we were just trying to do it by ourselves, actually I know if we were just trying to do it by ourselves, because fun fact, back in the day, Liz was a teacher, and actually one of the things was like, this was my thing, and like she was teaching, focusing on that. And then I did find some sort of limit of like how many people.
I feel like you probably have a little bit more of a limit than other people would, though. Like with how many new clients you could take on.
Yeah.
Just because of everything else that you do. Like, I wouldn't say there's necessarily a specific like magic number for that.
No.
I think, or for me or for anyone really, like for how we're doing it, I would just say it kind of depends on like other things that are going on in life. Like you might be, and you have a lot more to do with the gym to where you might have like a cap where you're like, hey, like I am filled up right now, like with other things, like let me have you, like one of our other coaches can coach someone.
And I mean,
I feel like I have less of a cap of that just because I don't do I do a lot of other things, but like business wise, like I'm not making videos every day. I'm not like running the business, so to speak. I just work here.
Yeah.
But
Liz is the all-star trainer.
I just work here.
Well, yeah, I guess my point was what I wanted to say, really what I wanted to touch on is that like I really believe like our Fortis community can continue to grow and continue to reach more and more people with like our mission of redefining strong. And I don't really think I would put limits on it based off one particular person, myself included. So we will do as like business owners what we need to do to make sure that anyone that reaches out to us has an amazing coach. That may not be me. That may be Liz.
That's what I was saying. That's where I was going with that.
I should have specified that.
That's kind of where I was going.
And as far as like an actual cap, like I don't, like Liz said, it just kind of depends. Like, there's certain times where like I might be like, like I feel like I could do this, and there's other times where I'm like, no, like this doesn't work in my schedule, or I might think that you might work better with Liz or with Kadrin, and that's always our goal, is to match you up with the person that we feel like you would work best with. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like you know, a lot of coaches, they'll, you know, post online 2 spots left or something like that. But like, that's not really something that we've ever like set a number for. Because I also think, and like part of it I would say too, it depends on like the people that you're coaching, because some people just require like
more energy.
Yes, they are more, and then others are less energy. Like, and that's just,
I mean, there's like
how
literally
life
like
is, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Say, I mean, I have some clients that I talk to every single day. I have some clients that I talk to like once a week. I have some clients that sometimes I message once a week to check in, and they're like, and then they come back and they're like, oh, hey, you know what I mean?
Hey, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it just kind
nice
of depends on the person. And so for those reasons, you know, I really don't think, I don't know, like, I think it's very hard, in my opinion, to have a straight cap. Like whenever people are like, I have this straight, you know, I mean, that's of course 100% up to them, which is something also I feel like people need to respect, is like, if they do have a cap, they have a cap.
Well, because you don't know what else is going on in their lives either.
Yeah.
So.
But me personally, like, like the Fortis unit will never be turning down people. If you want to, you know, if you reach out to us and you're looking to, you know, find your strong and start working with us, then we will find a spot for you on the team. We've been doing that for the past 8 years, and we will continue to do that. That's a guarantee. I'm telling you, I'm serious. But I will say, like, going back to the whole like thing, like you're saying, so if this maybe answers your question, there's no possible way that our team would be as big as it is right now if just I was writing the programming still. So maybe that's an answer for you, because that would be impossible.
I feel like your cap's about 30 to 40.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm pretty good right now. Yeah, but yeah, collectively as a Fortis unit, no cap, as the kids say.
Oh my God.
I don't even know what that means in reference to what they do. Anyways, okay, question number 2. This is a good question. This is a great question, actually. How do you keep perspective through an injury? I'm thinking perspective meaning just like, how do you stay on track, I guess? But anyways, how do you keep perspective through an injury, especially regarding your ego? So like,
so basically,
how to tame the ego,
I mean,
when you're hurt.
Yeah, how to be okay with lifting like way less weight than what you know that your body is actually capable of lifting. Especially when you are someone who has been training for a very long time. I know who asked this question. That's why I'm elaborating on that. Oh, I don't know if you saw who it was.
Yeah.
It was on my thing.
Yeah.
Someone who's been training for a very long time has achieved like some really high numbers, like, anyways, and then all of a sudden you can't lift. What do you do?
Yeah, so this is something.
Basically, I feel like it's more of a mindset than like a what do you like physically do every day. It's how do you make your mind.
So I'm gonna give you. I'll just lay it out for you.
He's gonna be better at answering this because he's been hurt a lot more than me.
I was just gonna say because I've get hurt and Liz is a mutant.
No,
all right, so
I've been hurt, but not to like.
Maybe Liz can answer the next question. I got this one. This is Liz is like y'all ever seen like X-Men? You know, Wolverine, like where like they quick heal. That's Liz. But there has been times where things have put you back.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like there's been times.
Yes.
But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know why. Probably because I'm crazier. That is why. Okay. So because I'm a little bit more Nate brain, as some of our clients call it, where I just like to, I'm going to get after it, basically. And that works for a lot of the times.
Until it doesn't.
However, yes, it also puts you at a much higher risk than somebody like Liz, and I think that's kind of what we were trying to say. Like, Liz is a much more conservative lifter, basically. So, like, she will do what needs to be done, and that's it. And she'll do it very, very, very well, because that's the instructions for the day. And, I mean, in Liz's case, as you guys have seen, you've been following us, like, sometimes that is putting up obscenely crazy feats of strength, like ripping 352 for 7 sumo, and other times
341 sumo 2 weeks later.
That's coming. And other times it's failing 341 and then re-warming up with a completely different stance, conventional, that she hasn't trained in years, and ripping basically the same weight that we had planned for the day for sumo. So, you know,
happen.
Yeah. So Liz, the point of that, like, is like Liz is very good at staying in the pocket. Right? Like doing what she needs to do.
I've gotten better.
I have gotten a lot better, but no, you've always been good at that. You did go through a phase where you like I don't know. You were like kind of ego lifting a little bit.
Well, I think
hanging around me too much. It's my fault.
Well, no, because like I'm really good at like grinding out lifts, and so then I was just like pushing into that too much.
And you'd be like, yeah, that was fine.
Because like I could do it, and I did it, and I wasn't failing, but it was way harder than it should have been.
Well, you know, one of the things that I think earlier on you were like, I don't know, you didn't really agree with me on, but I feel like probably now you agree at least a little bit more, is like bar speed stuff. Like back in the day, Liz would be like, it moved. I'm like, that was really slow. Like that was like a 10-second rep. She's like, I did it. I'm like,
did move.
Okay.
I still get a few of those every once in a while.
Yeah. Anyways.
More on bench than anything else.
Anyways,
now.
The point is that, yes, like I have unfortunately been injured more. And we're working on that. Like I feel like I'm doing a lot better with making sure I'm doing what I need to do and not more. But the reality is that I do get after it. And when you get after it like that, sometimes you get hurt. And what do you do? So, I mean, the first thing is you got to just get over the fact that you got hurt. Because that's because I mean, I'm just telling you, like, this is the problem. Like, you get hurt, and like, at first you're like, you kind of just like, I like to like sit there. I'm like, okay, like, what are we doing? And then I usually give my body a good like 24 hours before I do anything drastic. Of course, if you get, you know, disclaimer, if you get seriously hurt, obviously seek out medical attention. Yeah. So that, but like, you know, generally, like I'll just kind of sit and I'll just let my body be for about 24 hours. And this is the time where I'll allow my mind to just be like this, you know. And then after that, I'm like, well, like what's done is done. I'm either going to do nothing, which is not an option, or I'm going to keep going, which is always an option. So that's like the first step. And I really think it's an important step. And if you don't really have that clear, like, okay, like I'm hurt. I am now like I was, I mean, like literally 6 weeks ago, I was probably capable of deadlifting near 700 pounds. And then like this, I was not. So, you know, I think the thing is I recognize that. I'm like, all right, well, time to move on. And I just started back from what I could do. That's number 2, is do what you can do. So you don't need to really, and again, it's just scrap the old playbook of whatever you used to lift, doesn't matter for the time being, right? Do what you can do and establish a new baseline. Okay, cool. Like I was unable to lift the bar and now I can lift the bar. Cool, like progress. And then we go to 55, 65, 95, 135, whatever. And that is the key. Do what you could do, don't push it.
Without pain.
Yeah, do what you can do without pain, don't push it, and just allow your body some time to recover and heal. And then, you know, I think the other thing is during that time when you're injured, you're gonna probably spend a lot more time doing some stretching, some mobility, stuff like this, and less time lifting. That's okay as well. So be okay with that. You know, like weirdly, I would say some of my like longer sessions would be like when I'm hurt because I just gotta do so much stuff to get my body ready to move. That's fine. And I've always kind of like naturally, like as I continue to heal from an injury, I'll just kind of like omit certain things and I do, you know, my normal warm up and then I'm good. But yeah, be prepared for your training to look a little bit different than it was before. And I feel like, you know, if you like lifting, which you do if you're watching this podcast, and if you ask me this question, you just have to like set yourself up to get more like gold stars, more carrots by like resetting the metrics. So like, again, like do what you can do and then like set up some like stepping stones that make sense. And then you're gonna feel good every single week. And now you're building confidence and strength back into the fold, all without ever touching numbers that, you know, before would be like a PR or something like this, or this is some good weight for me today. But it's like right now it doesn't matter because you can't do it because you just got hurt. So that would be my recommendation. Number 1, gotta like I said, accept it. Number 2, kind of reset the metrics. And then number 3 is just kind of like follow the plan, you know, like whatever the plan that your coach lays out, be flexible during this time. You know, you might, like your coach might be like, try this, that doesn't work. Okay, we'll try this. I always tell people I got a Rolodex of exercises and different stretches and things in my brain. There's no one way to do something. So if something doesn't work, no problem, we'll try something else. We'll find something that does work and then we'll just progress that.
Yeah, and I would say especially like if you don't know exactly like what you did or what exactly is injured, or like there wasn't like a specific instance, it's probably even going to be harder to like pinpoint exactly what is causing the pain. So you'll have to work through like a few different things to find, because I feel like I've had to deal with that a lot before on like the weird times I do get hurt. Like I have to work through like a bunch of different things to determine like what actually is helping, because some things you're like, oh yeah, that'll definitely help, and then it doesn't, which is always weird. And then you find something else that you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, and I think, well, I mean, like I said, I haven't been hurt that bad that many times, but there have been a few times that I've gotten decently hurt to where I couldn't lift or was having issues. I still remember one, it was like 10 weeks out from the showdown, I partially tore my, what's it called, subclavius? I don't know, whatever little muscle under the collarbone. I could not squat, bench, or deadlift without pain. 10 weeks out from a meet.
That was wild.
So we found things that I could do. So like I could high bar squat up to a point before it started hurting, and then that was fine. I could Cadillac bar bench, I think, but not actual bench.
Which is weird because that's like more range of motion.
Yeah.
But it might have been the
the
neutral grip.
Angle. Yeah, it was the angle of it. And then eventually we went to like block presses until I could like touch my chest again. And then weirdly conventional deadlifts were fine, but sumo wasn't. So like I think part of it too is like doing what you can do, even if it's not what you want to be doing.
Yeah, 100%.
With whatever the weight is, whatever the movement is, whatever range of motion it is, working through something is going to be better than just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Even if it sucks and it's boring and you don't want to do it, doing something, less range of motion, less weight, whatever, is going to help you continue to progress once you have healed from your injury and like worked through whatever issues.
Well, and doing something is always better than doing nothing, guys.
Correct.
So like that's definitely always going to be a win. And I think like Liz said, like when you're injured, like you're not going to be able to necessarily do, like if you're a powerlifter, maybe all the lifts to like comp standard. But if you can still do some stuff, you'd be surprised at what your body remembers when you come back from being injured, because the thing is like I just said, like I shared earlier in this little segment, like Liz is just strong. She is a strong human being. So like she needed to, do a little flip the switch the other day, switch over to conventional. How is she able to do that? Because she's strong. Like if she only trained sumo and did zero accessories and never pushed accessories and whatever, that would not be possible. So being strong is never going to be a bad thing. That's something that Mark Bell used to say, which is so true, is like, strength is never a weakness. It's never going to be a bad thing to be stronger. So if you maybe can't train in this aspect, that's okay. We can train this, and this is going to help us be stronger when we come back from this injury in this aspect. All right, so next question is, what are your biggest gym pet peeves? I already thought about this earlier.
I don't know. I guess if you already thought about it, you can answer it while I think about it.
Okay. So my biggest gym pet peeve is just one, because I don't know. Overall, I like the gym, and we own our gym, so it's a great gym. I don't know. We have awesome people in it. I think the biggest pet peeve that I do have is sometimes people seem to misunderstand that the gym is for everyone, and it is a public space. Like we have a bunch of different members, and not one bar, one plate, one rack is just for you. Like everybody gets to come in and share the equipment that we have at our studio. And I think the reason why it's a pet peeve of mine is because you're missing the point of going to the gym. I think if you focus too much on like, I need this equipment and I need this to be alone all by myself and I want to train. Like if you truly feel like that, I honestly think it'd probably be best just to have like a home gym or something like that, which is fine. There's some people that have home gyms. But if you come to a gym and you pay like for a membership, whether it's our gym or any other gym, part of the experience is the other people. And you're gonna miss out on some awesome time working in with other people that you're not, it's really hard to like quantify that, to be like, you're gonna be missing out on this exact thing. Like I can't really do that for you, but what I can say is I've been working out for well over a decade, every single day. Like I don't, skip, I mean, I have rest days, but like every single day that I meant to train, I'm at a gym. And there's just so many great opportunities to work in with other people and to see them succeed and to help them succeed, and they're going to help you succeed. And it's like always going to be a better time working in with somebody. So I think that's going to be my biggest pet peeve is when I do see that, and it's like, oh man, like not only are you, kind of being stingy with the equipment or something like this, but you're missing like a huge factor, huge positive in my opinion, of even going to a gym, and that's the other people and the community that we've built, which is a fantastic one. What's your gym pet peeve?
Well, I was thinking about a lot of them.
Oh,
well, no.
A lot?
I think I used to have a lot.
Okay.
Like before, like when I was like first starting out, like there was a lot more things that I think used to bother me when I was newer to lifting or like scared of lifting or like things like that. Like, someone would walk in front of me and I would like, I can't lift. You're standing somewhere in my any bit of peripheral vision, and I just couldn't lift. But now, like, I don't care. I just kind of stare through people.
Yeah.
So
I always used to tell you that. You just gotta stare through.
Yeah,
like,
but I couldn't understand that. So like, and I feel like a lot of the pet peeves, like that kind of like weird little stuff, doesn't really bother me anymore as I've like grown and matured as a lifter. Yeah. I also think a lot of pet peeves that I probably would have, I don't have them because it's our gym. So like people who don't clean up their equipment, or people who leave it a mess, or like destroy stuff, like all of that would 100% bother me. Like that would drive me crazy. But I feel like we have a good community here of people who like don't do that. Like they take care of our gym for the most part. I mean, obviously sometimes people leave out a band or a bar. Like it's not like that's just an accident. But like I know I see all these posts and like of other gyms and commercial gyms and stuff like that where it's just like a disaster, or like people just like disrespect the equipment. Yeah. And I feel like
that would definitely be a pet peeve,
but like it's not something that I have to deal with. So I think probably the only thing that I can really think of that is just something I guess I could still kind of work through, but like when I am getting ready to lift, especially something heavy, and someone tries to talk to me and have a conversation with me. So like, and I don't mean like don't talk to me when I'm working out, but like, especially if it's like a top set, like if I'm trying to squat 400 pounds, I have to go into a very different headspace to be able to do that.
Hey Liz, can I change my billing date?
Yes. So, and I'm not saying like people can't talk to me when I'm lifting, because I have seen some gym owners and trainers will make posts about that. Like, do not talk to me while I'm lifting, like while I'm training. Like, I get it. Like sometimes that's just, you have to do it. But I guess like it's when I'm trying to lift, especially if I have headphones on and I'm like setting up, like wrapping my wrist to go up and like squat 400 pounds, and then someone comes and asks me a question. I think like, I don't know. I think that is probably, I guess, a little pet peeve. I would not say it happens all the time, but.
No, but like if it does happen.
Because it's hard, because it pulls me out of whatever headspace I'm in. I've gotten better with it, where I'll just be like, hold on, let me finish this lift, and then I'll like talk to you or answer about it. And again, it's not all the time, and it's not, don't talk to me anytime I'm training. So like, I don't want it to come across as that, but
I mean, it's understandable. I think, I think a lot of things with, being a powerlifter and in the gym, it's like people, they see you all the time. So they're just like, oh yeah, that's Liz lifting weights.
Yes.
And you're very good at what you do. And I think, someone might see you squat 275 and 375 and just be like,
it's the same.
It looks the same. There's Liz, she's squatting. And they just may not understand, the difference between like 275 for Liz, this is easy work for. 375, we need to get into a little bit different headspace. And I think another thing that I've thought of over the years, because this happens to me all the time, is I think some people like they're also unaware. I think it's generally unaware because like they just haven't maybe like pushed their body to like those kind of limits before, which is totally fine.
Yeah,
you don't need to do that. But I think when that happens, I try and answer what I can, or I just have what's called selective hearing, and I don't hear you. Because at the end of the day, I mean, like Liz is saying, I mean, like all jokes aside, some of the weights that we're lifting can literally like kill us.
Yes.
So like I need to be focused on what I'm doing, and that's going to take paramount. But I always make sure, if I have that going on, I'll after I finish the lift and take a breather for a second, I'll go up to whoever to ask the question.
Yeah.
answer them. No problem.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to,
whatever.
like, I don't want to be mean about that.
No, I feel like it's fine.
And it's not like, it's not the rest of my training either. Like, I'm warming up, whatever. I'm doing accessories, whatever. It's like literally like the maybe last warm up and like the top set. Like,
same for me. I
need to be in a different headspace for the kind of things that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And so I guess, and I don't know, maybe that would be a pet peeve for anybody who's like trying to get into that headspace.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think, I would say in general, I feel like we're very patient compared to even like a lot of people that post online about stuff. I'm like, okay.
Well, and I'm not even saying like maybe even like gym owners and like other trainers. Like, I feel like there might just be like, I feel like a lot of people just, whatever, powerlifters, elite powerlifters, whatever you want to call it. Like, when you're getting ready for that top set, like, I don't care what you're doing. If you're just hanging out at the gym working out, you still probably don't want people coming up and talking to you.
Yeah.
Because you are trying to lift heavy weights.
I mean, like I said, it's literally like a weight that could like potentially take you out.
Yeah, so I feel
need to
like
focus on what you're doing.
I would have that problem regardless of if we owned the gym or worked at the gym or not. Like if someone came up to try and talk to me anywhere I was when I was trying to do that, I think that would just be something that would bother me.
Well, honestly, I think a lot of it is like, since we do own the gym, we're here, we're own and operating the gym. We feel a responsibility to you guys. Of course, we want to make sure you're having a good time, good experience. So I think, if anything, that's probably what makes it more, you're like, oh man, like now you have this like internal, you're like, versus like if you were just at a gym, you'd be
some
like,
random person came up to me and started talking.
yeah. Because of course, like, and I think that's the thing is like, I think when you're lifting something super heavy, you got to be super focused. And I just think sometimes there's not enough time to fully like go over to somebody and say, hey, like, just give me 1 second. I got to lock in for this. Sometimes I do that, but there are times where I'm like, the process has already started.
You're just like, hold on.
The process has already started. I'm like logging in.
Then you see like all those videos of people online like coming up to someone with their headphones in. And, like if you're like even just like at a commercial gym, like, because I remember I went to one, whatever, it was a couple years ago when I was like back in Illinois, and like if someone would have come up to me even there, like I don't know anybody, and like someone did come up to me and talk to me, but it was like after I was done lifting. But I was like, yo, if they would have said anything to me like right before I was lifting this, like I don't know if I would have been very nice to them. But
no, you can be nice, just selective hearing. Oh, I didn't even, oh!
No idea you're talking
I didn't even see you there. But yeah.
So anyways, I guess that would be, like a lot of the pet peeves I would probably have, I don't have because we have
I would agree with that.
Such a good like gym and community of people here.
I just had the one, and like I said, that's how, honestly, not even a pet peeve, more just a recommendation. Because I mean, at the end of the day, people are going to do what they're going to do. That's fine. But when I do see that, I'm like, you're missing the point, man. So anyways, all right. So our last question is somebody asked, so they're training for a long distance run, which I would need a little bit more detail on all this to be clear, but I'll just answer it with the information provided. Training for a long distance run, want to keep muscle, like the muscle that they've built, but don't necessarily have time for the gym. So this is an interesting one. I'm going to give you two answers. So number one, so like how do we balance it? Number one, me personally, I would try to make some time for the gym at least once a week just to get some resistance training in, especially because the majority of your training is going to be body weight, basically because you're running.
Resistance training can be helpful for running
and that's,
too.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that keeping some weights rather in your program. Like this person asked, they've already built muscle, assuming with weights. Keeping that in your program is going to help make your body and keep your body more resilient to the runs. Running is inherently, it's a lot of impact. It's like a low-key exercise because you're like, oh, I'm running. But like if you think about it, it's like thousands of impacts. Every stride, you're like impact. So you want to be strong. So me personally, I actually would have at least one day where I'm training in the gym. And if I just had one day, I'd probably focus definitely on some squats, some lunges, probably some RDLs or some sort of deadlift hinging motion. I'd also probably focus on some core stuff and maybe like a little bit of upper back. If I had to narrow it down to like some exercise groups, that's probably what I would do. And you could do that in a day, and honestly, you could probably do that in like an hour. If you were managing your time, you had a good, you could always pair that with a run. No, you could always pair that with a run as well. Like you could head to a track. This person I know has access to the gym on base, so like you could go to the track, maybe do some like 400s as like a nice warm up, then head inside and hit like an hour lift. So total time, hour 30. You're in and out. Which if you're preparing for a long distance run, you're probably running for an hour 30. So having that, I think, would be probably what I would recommend. And I would have, and then if you can, commit to that one day of the gym, then I would also add in probably some step back lunges, maybe some step back lunges off of a step, so you can get a little bit more glutes and hamstring. Walking lunges, push-ups, sit-ups, side planks, regular planks. I'm trying to think. Definitely some squats. Pull-ups, if you have like a pull-up bar available, so that's no weights, but if you just have a pull-up bar available, that would be fantastic as well. And I would try and add those other body weight exercises in twice a week. So 3 times a week, you have some sort of weights and or body weight exercises. And then I'm gonna guess you're probably running 3 to 5 times a week, depending on your program. So that would be like my optimal answer. Now, if you do not want any weights, because this person asked specifically no weights. So no weights, I actually think you could, if I'm doing a long distance run, I'm probably doing one day a week, I'm really hitting that distance, right? So like that's gonna be a specific running day. Honestly, every other day, I would probably do some exercises and combine with my run. I would probably have the run first because this is my priority. So I'd hit whatever my running workout is, whatever my Garmin tells me to do. And then after that, I'm gonna hit some lunges on one day. Maybe I would do something like this. I would do lunges and push-ups one day. Next day, squats and pull-ups. Next day, maybe I do planks, side planks, and push-ups. 98, always crazy. Anyway, so I would pair two to 4 bodyweight exercises. I would do 5 sets for sure, and I would do somewhere in the 10 to 20 rep range. So, and I would just do that literally after your run. That's how I'd do it, just because that's gonna be the most efficient. Because trust me, after you finish that run and then you get sore or you got other stuff going on, you're not gonna be like, all right, maybe, but I would, for the best chance of success, I would just pair it with your run. So you hit your run, your body's gonna be warm, you're gonna be loosened up, ready to go. You don't really need to warm up, so that kind of saves you some time. And then you can jump right into those bodyweight exercises. Like I said, I would probably go 5 sets, and I'd start with 10 reps and then maybe go up to 15, 20 if it gets easy. So that's what I would do if you want no weights, because that was what they were saying specifically.
Something to do that, I don't know if the no weights just means like not going to the gym maybe, but like if you are just doing like with the run, like the body weight stuff, like you could hold some kind of weighted something from your house. Like if you wanted to get like a little bit of resistance without actually like going to the gym and you don't have weights at your house, like, I don't know, grab like a backpack full of books and then do some squats and lunges with that. Like give you a little bit of resistance maybe, or like a weighted vest. I don't know if you maybe run with a weighted vest or something, just because like, I don't know the full situation obviously, but like if you wanted to do something more resistance, like keeping and building maybe a little bit more muscle without, maybe it's not necessarily just like weights, maybe it's taking the time to go to the gym. Yeah. So like, I don't know, maybe that.
Yeah, and if it is like taking the time to go to the gym and you do have weights at home, then some exercises I would do with those weights would be squats, lunges, some sort of row, like a pulling exercise, maybe some deadlifts. Those would be my target exercises.
And I think something that would probably be also important to make sure like you're maintaining muscle is making sure your nutrition is
excellent point.
Dialed
Got to make
in.
sure we have the nutrition dialed. You need to make sure you're eating enough protein to maintain that muscle mass so you're not losing it. And you need to make sure you have enough calories to where you're not in a huge calorie deficit, because running, can tear up the body. We want to make sure we're feeding the body so that way you're not losing that muscle that you've worked so hard to gain. I think, and one more thing on that, which is just kind of the philosophical reason for like my answer. So if you're like, okay, why? So the reason is this. So when you're running, you're just doing body weight stuff, right? If you're training for a race, it's just going to be you and your body weight and maybe some gels, whatever, right? So you're out there and you are only going to be training if you have like a line, and this is like your body weight and this is like the resistance that your body weight has, right? You're only going to be using this for your competition and for a lot of your training. So if you only do this, then it's going to be very difficult for your body to, over time, continue to maintain that muscle that you've maybe built that allows you to do all this, right? Like it allows you to do all of this with the muscle that you've built And if your body's only needing this, well then over time it's going to shed this, right? It doesn't need it. Why would you keep it? The thing is like Liz said earlier, this is part of what's allowing you to do this at a high level, right? So that muscle you've built, that strength that you've built is part of what's allowing you to run and what's allowing you to train for this long distance run. So you want to make sure you're still tapping into this kind of level of resistance, which generally you'll need to do some sort of resistance training, whether it's like adding some sort of weight via a backpack, actual dumbbell work, barbell work, what have you. You need to tap into that resistance so your body doesn't forget what it feels like, basically. And it's like, oh, okay, we still need this muscle because you don't want to lose it, like you said in the question, right? So in order to do that, your body does have to feel that kind of resistance. And you can mimic that feeling with body weight exercises, but it's going to be very difficult to actually create that stimulus for your body because at the end of the day, it's still going to kind of recognize like, I'm just doing air squats, you know what I mean? You're training your muscular endurance with the running, so to actually keep that muscle mass like you're trying to do, nutrition on point, and then adding in some resistance training, even if it's just a little bit, it's going to be super helpful. So yeah. All right. Well, that was our final question.
Sounds good.
We're back. Fortis After Hours podcast is back. We'll be back next week with another episode, and then the following week we have our friend Trevor Jaffe coming into Fortis for a seminar, which we're super excited about. It's a fantastic opportunity, you guys. If you haven't already signed up, make sure you guys sign up. There's still some spots available. But yeah, the gym will be having some altered hours Saturday and Sunday. Sunday.
The 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah, 22nd and 23rd. And we'll be having Trevor in town for a powerlifting seminar. This is a great opportunity if you're not already signed up, whether you're a coach or an athlete, to learn from like one of the best minds in powerlifting. He's a good friend of ours. We've kind of developed a friendship over the years. We first met him at meets that we were at, and then we actually went to one of his seminars, which was a fantastic time for us. Kind of almost like continuing education, learning from another great mind in the sport of powerlifting. He's been doing it for over 20 years. He's coached multiple all-time world records, so meaning he's had athletes that have hit the heaviest weight in the squat, bench, or deadlift, one of those, of all time, period. So that's an awesome opportunity. We won't have a podcast that week, but we will have one next week. So stay tuned. But other than that, make sure you guys are following us. If you are not already, check out our YouTube. Like I said, I'm putting a lot of work into it this year, and I will continue to do so. So make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube. We also have a video version of the podcast if you're watching it. Hello. If you're not, check it out on our YouTube channel, following us on Instagram and TikTok. I broke down and started TikTok. Who knows? I might start a Snapchat. You know what's really funny about Snapchat that's like really popular right now? Like Snapchat's all popular with the kids. Snapchat was invented when I was in high school, which is so funny. So like I probably am like one of the first like accounts
Facebook
of
and Instagram
Snapchat.
were also invented like a long time ago.
Yeah, but like I don't know, for some weird reason, just like I think Facebook was like already a thing when I was in high school.
For you, yeah.
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 What about for you?
Yeah.
Lose out of MySpace.
I did.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys' continued support over the years. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bye.